Hello, my name is Joshua Gilliland, and welcome to another installment of the Legal Geeks educational series. I'm the blogger for Bowtie Law and the blogger for the Legal Geeks, along with Jessica Menderson. Today we are here to discuss privilege review and confidential marital communications. First up, in order to claim a privilege and have everything be effective, you need to have an effective privilege log. Under the federal rules, the Civil Procedure Rule 26B-5 are the requirements for a privilege log. A privilege log must expressly state the privilege and describe the nature of the information not being disclosed without revealing the information, which will enable the other parties to assess the claim. Very important, and there are many young attorneys being tortured doing this as we speak, but there are wonderful products out there that can make this a lot easier, and we'll discuss that at the end. Now, we're going to pick a privilege, and right now we're going to pick the confidential marital communications privilege. Now, this privilege under California Evidence Code 980, and there are similar ones across the United States for all the different states we have, states that a spouse, whether or not a party, has a privilege during the marital relationship and afterwards to refuse to disclose and to prevent another from disclosing a communication if he claims the privilege and the communication was made in confidence between him and the other spouse while they were husband and wife. There are all the elements that we have under California law for the confidential marital communications privilege. Well, let's apply it. Now, one of the early e-discovery cases that I found back in 2006, and it's still good law, took place in Kentucky. And in it, a party tried claiming the marital privilege over an instant message. Now, the court looked at three issues in applying the test. Were the communications made in confidence? Were the communications made between husband and wife? Was the couple's marriage legally recognized at the time the communication was made? All must be answered affirmatively in order for the privilege to attach. And in this case, after exhaustive analysis, the court said the privilege did not attach. And the reason was simple. They weren't married at the time the instant messages had been sent. Great way to kill a privilege that requires people to be married is to not be married when that privilege was attempted to be argued. It's happened again, or at least courts are cognitive that this could be an issue. And in this case, it's a text message case. It's a criminal prosecution, and in it, the court required the government to submit any text messages for in-camera review if the government planned to use any of those texts in trial, for the court to determine if the marital privilege attached at all to any of those text messages. So what's this mean? How do we put this all together so people can confidently and competently practice law and effectively do a privilege log? Well, first off, in any of the wonderful review platforms available, set up the issue codes for the different privileges you might have. So if you're expecting confidential marital communications, set that up as an issue. Then set up the sub-elements that make up the privilege. So, in this example, were the communications made in confidence? Were the communications made between husband and wife? And was the marriage legally recognized at the time the communications were made? If you can check all the boxes, you can effectively argue that. More importantly, you can start describing through just your issue coding that you have a communication such as, message from wife to husband, made in confidence, while the marriage was legally recognized. Again, all those elements need to be there in order for the privilege log to be effective. So this concludes today's recording on the confidential marital privilege. We thank you for your time, and be sure to tune in to the Legal Geeks for more information on all things geeky in the law, and Bowtie Law for all things e-discovery. Thank you very much, and have a wonderful day.